Rain versus Solar.
All right, so our game is now underway. Why does Solar always have this like kind of smirk on his face? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Because he's playing a Protoss player and he's happy about it. He's really good at the matchup. He's enjoying life, Tasis. So, we'll go ahead and take a look at what these guys are doing in just a moment. I really do like that Rain is not trying to proxy anything. Like, that is what Protosses do on this map a lot of the time, is they just try to proxy. And the thing is, every Zerg scouts for it. Like, we can see right now there's a drone going down there, and he's going to check everything.
Yeah. So in this phase of the meta, I mean, even though it would be a good idea for Protosses to rush because they do it so much, Solar, I mean, it's built into the opening here for Zerg to just check for that, because as long as that doesn't happen, the Zerg is pretty much secured a win later on.
And as you can see here, we're using a much smaller ramp.
There was our cool effect back there, the hot sticks, Michael Bay effect.
The Michael Bay effect.
Michael Bay, man.
All right.
Michael Bay made all of our special effects here going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Bay, he's another guy that has great storylines in his movies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, talk about, you know, a movie you would want to, you know, teach in a film school about, you know, philosophy and...
Yeah. It's pretty awesome when all the robots introduce themselves.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part.
He is an artist.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what are some games that have like really bad storylines.
Super Mario Brothers.
And there's not even much of a story there.
Well, I like it personally. It's from my childhood, but I just want to say that to see if you freak out.
No, man, I dig it. In fact, I've heard that a lot of people that, you know, really study games believe that one of the reasons why Mario is so successful is because the story is so out there, it's equally unrelatable to everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A plumber trying to save a princess through pipes against a crocodile man. Like, it's basically so out there that it's not like, like even when you get some storylines where it's like, well, now you're a hitman, or now you're on a spaceship, and some people are like, oh, I can kind of relate to that. With Mario, you basically can't relate to it, can't really get that into it, but I still like it and enjoy it, and therefore it just sells to adults and children and everybody all around.
That's cool. That's cool. It makes sense too.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at these builds for a moment here.
Yeah.
Now, this is, I believe, the first. I think this is the first game that I've
some
seen
exhaust over there. Did you
with
see that written down?
The new, the new ramp here. So, what Rain is going for, he's going to wall in this ramp. Now, Solar is still getting a very quick Zergling speed here because this is just generally something you do on Daedalus because you can just run around. It's really hard to wall everything in normally. Rain's actually being rather greedy, to be honest. He's grabbing a Stargate out back and hasn't walled in yet, whereas his speed is almost done.
It's one of those moments where, you know, being a little bit cheesy doesn't always have to involve trying to kill them right away. You can also do the opposite and get really greedy and try to get a lead that way.
A form of cheese, for sure, is economic cheese. Well, right now we do have that third base going up. I'm excited to see what he makes out of this Stargate. Will this be an Oracle? I feel like it will be an Oracle.
If it's the Oracle, he'll get out there, probably kill 2 to 3 drones, back up, and then use the Oracle to try to control more of the map.
I should have known. It is Rain. He's making a Phoenix. So we'll see how he wants to try to go about taking his third base. But it looks like Rain is actually falling back on a build that he's like super well known for. The thing is, he doesn't have a probe on the map. He's got the 3 gates timed up just right with Warp Gate, and he's making Phoenixes. And normally what he does off this is just like a Zealot Phoenix pressure towards that third base area. But you know what? His opponent already has Zergling speed. He doesn't have a probe out on the map. I don't think we're going to see that here.
Phoenix is continuing to patrol around the map, see if there's any Overlords he can kill off. And Zerg is just continuing to mass up, getting a lot of drones. Roach Warren about halfway done here. These Zealots will probably turn around before going all the way. This is simply to scare the Zerg out of making drones for a little bit.
Oh, right now we do have the Zerglings kind of scouting everything out.
You know what?
Seeing what's going on.
I guess I misspoke. He's actually going to go all the way down here. I thought he was going to run away.
It's you know what? The Zerglings should have seen the Zealots move. They did go within vision, but I guess he wasn't looking at them at that moment. because
this is not supposed to be working like this.
Yeah, he's woefully unprepared for these Zealots. But you know what? With 20 Speedlings popping out, it's not going to be that big a deal.
Got the Queen here.
Still, this is a good amount of damage.
Yeah, getting the Overlords, making this not mineable for a little bit here for the drones.
Really good execution here by Rain overall. I love the lifting it up and walking the Zealots under with the Queen to kill it off. And you know what? He killed some drones. He did really good work with those 4 Zealots. That was very nice.
So he's definitely slowed down Solar, who is, I gotta say, a little surprisingly not prepared for that that basic pressure opening. And now Rain is actually doing, you know, a lot more damage than I think we ever anticipated him doing right now, and it's not ending. He's continuing to pick up drones.
Yeah.
And push back Overlords.
This is actually pretty fantastic so far. He's going ahead, grabbing that Forge and the Robo. See if he just wants to go into the 3rd base from here. I do suspect that's what we're going to see. And, ooh, Hydralisk speed being started immediately. I wonder if Solar's going to change up his strategy a little bit here. Maybe try like a Hydralisk Ling or a Hydralisk Ling Roach bust on the 3rd or something like that, because the 3rd is really wide open here, so you can get a really nice big concave. And it's hard to stop with, you know, even Sentry Colossus. Basically force him to take these so late. And then you can go up to Vipers, and they're having a hard time to get to High Templars because they've spent so much gas trying to stop a timing attack. And it can get messy.
Phoenix is now shaving off a few more drones here and there. And, yeah, I mean, this game is beginning to normalize here. I mean, the Zerg is trying to do a little bit of catch-up now because he did lose those workers. He did take that damage.
Yeah.
Which I think for somebody like, you know, the thing about Solar is he doesn't normally take abuse like that early on in the game.
Yeah.
So I'm interested now to see how well does he manage now that Rain is in a position we don't normally see Rain in. Rain doesn't normally do a little bit of damage early on and then play it out. Normally it's the opposite. Normally it's Rain is a little bit behind, but turns it around. So
you know, it's cool to see Rain go for like specifically this type of build where he's going for the Zealot Phoenix Harassment, because this is definitely something he's used to great effect in the past when he wants to be aggressive in the early game against Zerg. And when he does it and does a good amount of damage, he continues to make Phoenixes, and he's even doing that here and now. And by increasing that Phoenix count, he's kind of forcing, like, okay, you better still have spores, you better watch out with your queens, I'm going to continue to deal damage. And the thing is, the economy has been hurt enough for Solar that continuing to make these Phoenixes is awesome. When he tries to attack, is he going to have enough Hydras to stop, like, what is this, 9 lifts? Is he going to have more than 9 Hydras in the attack? Well, he might, but, I mean, 9 Phoenixes are going to kill off Hydras so quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult to deal with. And as we see, this queued up quite well with what you were about to say.
Well, this is like... a move like this, after all the harassment he's done, is like a win.
The problem for the Zerg now is that the Zerg is never going to be able to get enough Hydras out.
Yeah.
Because they can just keep being picked up. And this is this weird moment where you just have enough Phoenixes that it sort of snowballs.
Yes, exactly.
He can't ever quite get enough out.
And the thing is, if he does, by the time he does, you have enough Colossus, and then you're screwed equally.
So
in that
it looks
regard.
like Rain is geared up to win this if he doesn't make any major mistakes, which is really exciting considering, you know, I think you and I both were pretty confident Solar was going to close this out easily. In fact, Artosis, you even used the word Bob.
No, that was about DRG. I'll talk more about that after.
Yeah,
Rain,
you did not. You did not.
I said
say Rain was going to get Bob.
No, I said DRG is going to get Bob.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank God.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I would never say Rain would get bopped. He doesn't get bopped. He's Rain.
Children are watching this, Artosis.
Yeah. Don't worry, children. Rain is still awesome. But no, I mean, this is some great play by Rain, and this is like almost the point of no return. Just he's forcing a certain type of composition out of his opponent. With that Infestation Pit, are we actually going to see Infestors to try to hang on against these Phoenixes? I don't think he needs to go that far with it. I think that if he just has an okay amount of Hydras, he can kind of hold them off. But his army is behind right now. His economy is like very similar to the Protoss economy. But normally as Zerg, you want the Protoss reacting to your army a little bit more, where I feel like the Zerg has to react to Protoss.
Zerg is actually Protoss this time.
Something like that, it feels like.
And he's going to move out here. It looks like he wants to just poke into the 4th and wipe it out. This is a great way to play when you're ahead as Protoss. A lot of times when you're behind as Protoss, you're actually better off going towards their main and trying to wipe it off the tech there. But when you're ahead like this, you can just poke in, wipe out a hatchery, go back, and rinse and repeat, and slowly bleed out the Zerg.
Well, here we go. Taste this Rain moving forward.
This is going to happen right as Blink finishes, which is going to make this really scary. He's going to get out in a few initial force fields. Oh, those are so good.
Yeah, those are pretty solid. Nice time warp as well. This is not looking good for Solar. Not at all.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow, that is complete total ownage. GG.
GG indeed.
Wowzers.
Rain goes on to the winner's match.
There's a word for everything, Artosis, and the word that should have been used there was wowzers.
Yeah. You know, I think that this is going to be a frustrating loss for Solar. Or Solar. I don't know why I keep calling him Solar.
Solar.
But I think this is going to be a frustrating one for him because I am like almost completely sure his lings were in sight range of the 4 Zealot move out. But he just, you know, you tell your lings to go somewhere and then you look away and you look back and stuff. I think what happened is he just simply didn't see it. But if he had seen that coming, the game wouldn't have ended up looking like that. He would have had enough units to hold his Zealots back, which means his economy could have gotten flowing, which means the Phoenixes wouldn't have done as good a job, which means Rain wouldn't have snowballed at all into a win.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm not saying Solar would have won, but I'm just saying that's
it was that you're absolutely right. It was that initial damage that occurred early on that allowed the next amount of damage to come in, for instance, with the Phoenixes, and then because the Phoenixes were able to take out more Hydras, then some more Queens were picked off and drones, and then eventually, by the time we get to the end of it, there's just this death ball that the Zerg can't deal with. So it really goes to show you why you need to be very careful early on. I mean, even losing a few drones or losing control of one of your bases for a short period of time and you can't mine there, that can result in a loss in the long run.
When you're against someone like Rain who knows exactly what to do, he knows how to follow it up, it gets tough.
Well, we're going to take a short little break. When we get back, we're going to have Hero against DRG at the GSL Code S.